Hi guys, welcome to my sports world. This is an Ole in video. I am not jumping on that bandwagon that some of these fan channels are doing, just because of one or two skimpy results. So let's take a look at why Ole should be in, and why Ole is at the wheel, and why that's the right decision going forward. I rely on facts and not some wishful thinking or what I think I see. Some of these other fan channels are just too fucking ignorant and stupid. There are some good ones out there. Let me give a shout out to the good ones that I think is good. United People's TV is a good channel. He is very balanced. He gives critique when it's needed. He gives praise when it's needed, like a real fan should do. And he supports the team in thick and thin. Football goes up and down in life. You have good patches, you have rough patches, you have terrible patches, but you always come back. He understands that. The other one is Stretford Paddock, also a very good channel. They give credit when credit is due, they give critique when critique is due, and they have a very balanced outlook on it. Real fans. However, there are some fan channels out there that are not so good, who rely on clickbait, lies, and pure up bullshit. And you probably know who is left then. There's two big ones. One is a very big one, and I think they have an agenda and a fake narrative, and all they want is basically making money off of fans who think they are in a real place, but they're not. So, what is it that? Well, this can also be stretched to the media, but most of all, fans on social media who are clueless and have no clue what football is. They say they do, but I doubt it. I have seen them play a game, and they don't have football motion in their bodies for jack shit, so they probably don't know what football is, if it even hits them in the head. So let's look at some of the claims that these fake and ignorant and clueless channels and fans have. There's a few. There is, he doesn't have any tactics, or the tactics he has is not good. He doesn't have a style. The style of football is no good. Well, last time I checked, you don't get points for style of football. And then you have moments. Moments FC was they called. Then you have luck. And then you have individual brilliance. Well. If you knew football and you have a little bit of knowledge, you would know certain things. You would know that luck, individual brilliance, and moments are a big part of football and have been for the last 120 years. Every team rely on individual brilliance. That's why they buy the best players. That's why they pay them big bucks every month, because of their individual brilliance. And yes, many times those individual brilliance and those individuals will determine the game one way or another. And when you combine 11 individual brilliance performances, you will get a team win. Last game is a very, very telling thing. Not one person won that game. There were several people. Now, let's dive a little bit deeper into this so we can debunk the bullshit these fake channels and fake fans have. Let's look at it. There was also some opinions, probably, not so good ones, posted out there, and there was some stats put out there that they want to think it was real, and that is, they didn't really, how can I say it? It didn't matter who the striker or the forward was, because they claimed that regardless of that, even if it was Ronaldo or Messi, we wouldn't score enough goals, we didn't create enough chances. Basically, we are in a drought of goal scoring for over the last 3 years under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Well, looking at the facts and the stats, that doesn't back those claims up. Because last season we scored 121 goals. That's more goals scored than any United team for the last 14 years. You have to go 14 years back in time to find a time or a team in a season who scored the equal amount or more. And that's way into Sir Alex Ferguson's era. Another thing is, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in his 101st games won more games than even Sir Alex Ferguson. He's unbeaten. We're setting records every now and then, every month almost. And the big one that is still ongoing is the unbeaten record away from home. It's counting. It's going on. So yeah, we apparently don't have a style of football. Apparently we don't have tactics because it's all luck and individual brilliance. It's not individual brilliance when you break records. It's not luck when you break records. It's not luck when you score more goals than you have ever done in the last 14 years. That's called organized skill set, put in system, and individual players comes together and do their best. That's it. If you have a different opinion, go and suck a pipe, because that's what you need to do. Now let's go 3 years back in time in the Premier League, okay? Let's take 3 years back in time. Premier League, top 4 teams for the most part. The teams that I have included is Manchester City, Manchester United, Liverpool, and Chelsea. So let's see how they stack up against each other for the last 3 years, okay? Manchester City. Let's do we want to start back then and go forward today, or do we want to start today and go back? Let's start today and go back. Manchester City, so far this season, 2021-22. 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. Manchester United, 4 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. Same as Man City. Chelsea, 4 wins, and 1 draw, and 1 loss. Same as Man City and Man United. Liverpool, 4 wins, 2 draws, and 0 losses. So they have 1 draw more than the others, but they have 1 loss less. So that's about so close and so even. The 3 other ones are dead even. So apparently we are way worse because we don't have a style of football, and we don't have a tactics, and we don't have a coach or manager who knows how to take the team forward. Okay, now let's go to last season, where we ended up in 2nd place. Just that sentence alone should tell you something. 2nd place. We finished before Chelsea, before Liverpool. Okay, but we have a manager who doesn't know what he's doing. Manchester City last year had 27 wins, 5 draws, 6 losses. Manchester United had 21 wins, 11 draws, 6 losses. Chelsea had 19 wins, 10 draws, 9 losses. Liverpool had 20 wins, 9 draws, 9 losses. So we are clearly better than 2 of them, and not very far behind Manchester City, who at that point in time had a way better roster and team than us. Their bench, they had like 2 11s that could go out and probably win the Premier League. We could barely put together a starting 11 that was kind of like close. The year before, which was the first full year of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and this was before he could start putting his thumbprint on things, because he was in the process of cutting players, signing new ones. Not that that is any excuse, but we can compare it to Chelsea, because they did the same thing with Frank Lampard in that year. So back in 2019-2020, Manchester City had 26 wins, 3 draws, 9 losses. Manchester United had 18 wins, 12 draws, and 8 losses. Chelsea had 20 wins, 6 draws, and 12 losses. Liverpool had 32 wins, 3 draws, and 3 losses. So this was in a year where we ended up in 3rd place. The number speaks for itself. The stats speaks for itself. If you have a manager who doesn't have a direction, or doesn't have tactics, or a style of football, or doesn't know what he's doing, you don't end up with these stats. Now let's look at goals, because we can go back to the 121 for last season, but let's see what is happening for the last 3 years. Manchester City this year, up to date today, is 12-1. Has a plus 11 in goal scoring. Manchester United this year is 13 and 5 plus 8. Liverpool is 15 and 4 plus 11. Chelsea is 12 and 2 plus 10. So we're scoring about the same. We are the second highest scoring team after Liverpool. But we have allowed a few more goals than the others. 3 more than Chelsea, 1 more than Liverpool, and 4 more than City. So that's because of the goal difference right there. But we're scoring the same amount as the other ones. Yet I heard he doesn't create enough chances and scoring enough goals. Someone must be really fucked up in their head. And it's the other channels. The year before, last season, Manchester City, 83 scored and 72 allowed. Manchester United, 73 scored and 44 allowed. Liverpool, 68 scored, 42 allowed. Chelsea, with all their $285 billion or million dollars of investments of players, especially attackers, scored 58 goals and allowed 36. So we outscored Chelsea with almost 20 goals. Almost. 15 goals. 15 goals more than Chelsea. And they went out on a shopping spree for Mr. Lampard, and Tuchel took over midways. That tells you something. Remember when Tuchel took over Chelsea with that star specter of players, and he didn't do well? He barely could win a game. He drew and lost, and their players did not do good. That's why they went out and got Lukaku this year. If we go even 1 year further back, in 2019-2020, the first year Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was doing this, City scored 102 goals and they allowed 35. We scored 66 and we allowed 36. Liverpool scored 85 and allowed 33. And Chelsea scored 69 and allowed 34. So we scored 3 goals less than Chelsea. This was the first year he took over the team, and he had no influence whatsoever on what was coming in of players, who was there, who was going out. He had to deal with what Mourinho and Van Gaal and maybe even Moyes had invested in earlier. So this was before he could set his own stamp on things, and you can see that the numbers improve each season. That is improvement and is going in the right direction. Once again, it spits your bullshit mid in the face. Now let's go to Champions League this year, shall we? Oh, by the way, he took the team to Europa League final. I guess you don't do that if coaches or manager who doesn't know what they're doing, they shouldn't really take teams to the final in Europe. And I don't want to hear about, it's a second range, blah, blah, blah. Well, we didn't have the team that we have this year, and we basically, last year we were in the middle of a rebuild, and we're still in a rebuild. We are, because the rebuild, right now, is like, he started up with building the foundation. He got the deadwood out, got some foundation things in, got some interior decoration things in. This year we put a painting on it. We put a paint on the outside. So the next step now is to get the yard done, get everything polished. And the team is now spending this year to get the chemistry right and knowing where the players run and how, it takes time. So you know where I'm going with this. Champions League this year. Let's look at it. Because clearly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does not know what he's doing. So what we see here should not be happening. Manchester City. They're third in their group with 3 points, 1 loss, 1 win, 6-5 in goal difference. Liverpool is first in their group, 2 wins, 8-3 in goal difference and 6 points. Chelsea is second in their group, 1 loss, 1 win, 3 points, and 1-1 in goal difference. Manchester United is third in their group, 3 points, 1 loss, 1 win, 3-3 in goal difference. So we are in the same spot in our group as Manchester City is in their group. Same amount of points, same amount of wins, same amount of losses. Chelsea is in second because they're in a way easier group. They're in probably one of the easiest groups in Champions League. Malmö FF and Zenit and Juventus, and they couldn't even go ahead and beat Juventus. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let me tell you something. The Young Boys are better than Malmö. Young Boys is better than Zenit. Atalanta is better than Malmö. Atalanta is better than Zenit. And I want to say that Atalanta, on a good day, is better than, in Serie A, is probably better than Juventus. So we are in a tougher group. What did that tell you? We are in no worse shape than 3 of the others from England. Liverpool, they are doing great in their group. Fantastic. I want Liverpool to do good. I want English teams to do good in Champions League. But we are no worse off than City or Chelsea in Champions League this year. And we are playing in a tougher group than Chelsea. So you can argue that Manchester City maybe have a tougher group than us. I doubt it. The only good team in that group is really PSG. And City should really beat PSG. But they didn't. Now, yeah, all this is just luck. Of course. Over 3 years, it's just luck. The problem is luck doesn't have a pattern. Luck is independently something that creates itself from time to time. And luck cannot be counted on as a stable form factor in anything. Especially when you go away on away games in Europe, in England, wherever. You play on different surfaces like they did at Young Boys when they played on AstroTurf. Yeah, if you're not used to play on AstroTurf, don't count on luck to help you out. And it didn't. We didn't have any luck in that game. I see these channels. There's 2 or 3 of them. And they're saying, oh, it's all about individual brilliance. This is the one that kills me. This is the one that tickles me to, I look at this and I listen to these fan channels, and this guy is sitting in this little green screen studio thing, and you could hear like things happening in the house, and it's just okay. Yeah, if you want to be that professional, at least keep the noise out, okay? And he's like, oh, it's individual brilliance. It's Moments FC. Is it? Individual brilliance is, like I said in the beginning of the video, a very elemental thing in football. You don't have a good team if you don't have individual brilliance. Sorry to hurt your feelings, buddy. But if you think that individual brilliance is something that shouldn't be there because it just happens, and why do we have to rely on individual brilliance? Why did you buy the player in the first place? Why did we buy Ronaldo? Why did we sign Ronaldo? Why are we paying him over 500 grand a week? Not because he's a buddy team player. He's paid because his individual brilliance, his ability to change games, his ability to win games, his ability to show up out of nowhere and do something that no one else does. Same with Cavani. Same with Bruno Fernandes. But it's when you combine these things, you get the end product. But I guess you're too fucking stupid to understand that one, are you? So let's look at the individual brilliance in the Villarreal game. Moments FC, he called it. Individual brilliance. Ronaldo saved the day. And you see the same in the media and in newspapers and among fans, the fake fans. And they're so caught up in this agenda and this fake narrative about bashing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It's just funny as hell. Let's look at goal number 1. Telles walks over to Bruno. Have a little chat. Hey, you want to do this? Can we do this? We tried this at the training field. That came out of Telles' mouth. We have tried it before. So I knew when it was there. I walked over to him and I wanted a ball there because I knew what we could do. Bruno was like, yeah, I'll give you the ball. I'll give you a perfect ball. Individual brilliance. Great passer. Individual brilliance. Telles. Finishing. Full volley. Boom. Far corner. Untouchable for the keeper. Are that individual brilliance, or what is it? It's individual brilliance by times 2. And then you have tactics. and then you have formation trained on and explored at the training field. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had probably said, if we get a free kick down there, this is what we can do. So let's try it out in training. Let's try it out in games. Tactics. There was another player involved in that situation. Greenwood. He's the one who forced the penalty. Without him, there wouldn't have been that moment. Without Greenwood, that moment would not have been created. Without the pass to Greenwood, that moment would not have been created. Without the pass prior to that, and the pass prior to that, and the pass prior to that. You see how everything is linked? Oops. So take your individual brilliance and Moments FC and screw it. Suck the pipe. That's goal number 1 for you. Let's look at goal number 2 because that's even better. This one really kicks your little narrative in the ass and your little agenda in the ass. Now let's look at goal number 2. And because this was the one where they were like, Moments FC, individual brilliance. Oh my God, Ronaldo scored and saved Manchester United. Really? I didn't see it that way. You know why? Here it is. Cavani gets subbed on. Why? Because he has something to contribute with. If you know Cavani, you know that when one of his teammates has the ball, and we're up in the opponent's 18-yard box or around there, you can see Cavani goes on runs to find the best position to be in a goal-scoring position. He's really good at it. But what you don't see many times is Cavani's work rate in getting the ball back from the opponents, high up on the field. Because he knows, if I can get the ball back right here in this area, there's a big opportunity for us, and there's a big chance we can score a goal. So when you see Cavani go up, do a challenge on the Villarreal player, wins the challenge, comes away from that challenge with the ball, looks around, finds Bruno, passes the ball to Bruno Fernandes. What do Bruno do? He gets the ball, controls it, looks around, sees Fred to his left, positions himself, passes the ball to Fred out on the sideline. Fred looks up, sees Ronaldo in the box, position himself, do a touch on the ball, passes the ball in, perfect height, perfect pace, perfect address. Ronaldo knows he's too far away from goal to get any power on it to beat the keeper or the 2 defenders in front of him. He sees that Lingard is coming running towards him. Lingard, you see it before Lingard receives the ball, he looks to his left and up, and he sees that he's getting out of position because he's passing the front post and the keeper. He knows when he gets the ball from Ronaldo, he knows that if he tries to finish there, there's a big chance that that ball is going to be blocked or go over on or outside the goal. So what do? Split-second decision. He decides to tap it down in like a 15-20 degree angle down to Ronaldo. Perfect touch, perfect pace, perfect everything. Ronaldo just smashes that ball in the goal between the post and the keeper and away from the 2 defenders. Now you might say, oh, Ronaldo, individual brilliance, he scored the goal, he saved the day, blah, blah, blah. Here's the real facts for you. Cavani, Bruno, Fred, Ronaldo, Lingard, 5 players. 5 players was involved creating that goal. 6 plays, 6 touches, 6 ball interactions between 5 players. Done perfectly with pace, accuracy, you name it. Everything was just perfect. So you have 5 players doing 6 interactions and ball touchments and ball movements. In a crowded area where you had 4 or 5, 6 different defenders plus a goalie. And you want to talk about individual brilliance. Last time I checked, we had a 1 player in goal. There's 11 players on the field. 1 is in goal. There's 10 players on the outfield. 10. This goal involved 5. That's half the team. Half the team was involved scoring this goal. Directly involved. And it all happened around the 18-yard box. It wasn't from the back of your own field or your own half. Cavani won the ball between the sideline and the 18-yard box, right there on the tip. He gives the ball back to Bruno, a little bit deeper on the field. Bruno passes this forward again, out to the left-hand side, to Fred, who then positions himself and whips in a cross to Ronaldo on back post, who heads it back forward again to Lingard, who then see, oh shit, I'm out of position. I better give it back to Ronaldo because he is in a better position to finish. He gives it back to Ronaldo perfectly. Perfectly timing, perfectly paced, perfectly angled, perfectly addressed, and Ronaldo just, mwah. 5 out of 10 players was involved in that goal. And you have the audacity to sit there and call this individual brilliance and moments FC? You little fucker. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're as clueless as all these others. And I bet you, yeah, oh, you have 1 million subs. Who cares? You're based on an agenda and a fake narrative, you little fuck shit. Individual brilliance and moments FC my ass.